What's going on, everyone? So we're finally at the last video discussing all of the colors and their potential in different decks after Rally to War comes out. So yeah, we're on to the black one. So jumping right into this, black offers two of the strongest aspects in this deck, which are the mass destruction and deadly, which is a keyword. So Lady Valistra is one of those cards that just allow for a lot of destruction on your turn. She's a great blocker, and when she destroys a monster, she gets to destroy another monster of that color. So this would be really great against a mono yellow or mono red deck. But if you Drago Cross her with the black dice, she has to be blocked, which means you're definitely taking a creature down with you, if not two. Only one simply if they block with a creature that they only have one color of, just to get around her effect. But yeah, she is one of the most effective ways to get rid of multiple cards. Gluttony of Albert, which is going to come up over and over again in this video, is one of the other amazing ways, simply because it destroys all creatures out of fort. And I mean, if your opponent has an Axion on the field and they have 3 creatures at that fort, Gluttony of Albert's taking out 3 cards. But yeah, black has stuff like Death Trap and Gluttony of Albert, which allows for all of that destruction on your opponent's turn. Death Trap being an ambush, Gluttony of Albert being a fort burst. And that just really swings the game in your favor. But then we've got Albert Plague Spreader, and he gives all of your creatures deadly. And deadly is whenever the creature deals damage to the opposing creature, it dies. So we do have that in the promo for Shadow Legion, which is Alluring Temptress, which isn't as great as something like Undying Executioner, which we will also talk about in a little bit. But Albert gives all of your creatures deadly, which means if your opponent blocks, after Albert declares their attack, so you're always going to want to attack with Albert first, but then all of your other creatures will have deadly, which means any damage done to your opponent's creatures will destroy them. And the reason I'm stressing any damage is because of the combo that you guys have probably heard of already involving Carefree Orc. When Carefree Orc attacks, you can do 1 damage to any creature. So after attacking with Albert, you can attack with Carefree Orc, deal 1 damage to a creature, and since Carefree Orc has deadly, that 1 damage will kill the creature no matter what it is. So that's one of the biggest combos that was found so far. I'd like to give credit to whoever found it. However, I've seen this so many places, I'm not exactly sure where it originated. But yeah, shoutouts to whoever did that. But segueing into red, as I talked about in the red video, red and black do have a lot of synergy, and it just allows for more destruction with cards like Pyroblast and Zarko. At least, these cards are more reliable than some of the other cards that we have for red, but it does just give more options to you. But then, I feel like one of the best colors to pair with black will be blue, simply because black has all that aggression and destruction, and blue will allow for you to manipulate your opponent's cards, changing them to rest when they're standing, and playing a lot more defensively with cards like All Guns Blazing, which is essentially the same thing as Gluttony of Albert, and if you're playing 4 of each, that's almost 1/5 of your deck that can disrupt your opponent when they attack into one of your barriers. So using these 2 colors together, I feel like you're going to have like complete control over the board, assuming you draw correctly. But yeah, we've also got stuff like EMP, which pairs nicely. They attack if you have Deadly set at, Death Trap set at 1 fort, EMP at another. They're either gonna lose their creature or they're gonna lose a fort because you're gonna rest everything and attack the next turn. And then, as I said in all the videos, Keeper is one of those other great blue defensive cards, as well as Telios and Zero, which all would fit in this deck pretty great. But playing blue in black will allow for some more aggressive play from black. You won't have to play as cautiously, because that's blue's job. And with blue being present there, that allows for black to kind of rush in a little bit more. So Wandering Aberration is one of those great one-cost cards where it's essentially a 3-1 when it attacks a Drago Shield, so it'll be able to get over at least half of your opponent's dice rolls. And then we also have Finister's the String Man. He returns to your hand whenever he's played, or whenever he's destroyed, which just allows for late game, if you're running out of hand resources, he's going to keep coming back to you if your opponent keeps destroying him. And he is a 4-3 or a 4-2, I can't remember exactly, but that's a lot of attack for being a 3-drop. So he is going to be a really great creature to play. But then one of the other great combos, not necessarily a combo, but card synergy with black and blue, is the use of Undying Executioner and Hidden Arts Water's Edge Shuriken. So if you watch my other Digging Deeper episodes, I talked about the potential of Hidden Arts and how it pairs well with black and all of those deadly creatures, simply because you're going to be able to destroy any of your opponent's monsters that are rested, and utilizing Lady of Elistra in that situation, you'd be able to destroy another creature of the same color, which, if she's attacking a blocker, or not a blocker, if she attacks a creature that's already in rest, you can choose a creature that's standing as her destruction target, and then they lose a blocker. So, it essentially is one of those other ways to swing the game in your favor. And then, black does have one of the best late game spell cards, being Address Disdain. You get to destroy a Dragocross creature, and if you have a black 4-6, you get to destroy a Drago Shield as well. So, as I've been saying throughout these videos, destroying your opponent's Drago Shield does put a lot of pressure on them, allowing you to rush in. And when that's comboed with cards like EMP, your opponent might not have anything left at that fort to defend with, barring a fort burst. But yeah, black definitely does have a lot of potential, and as we get more sets released, it's only going to get stronger.